welcome to the deep dive. So you sent us something really interesting this time.
Yeah.
It's a quote found on Goodreads, and it's attributed to Tom Hiddleston.
Okay, right. I think I know the one. It's quite popular there, isn't it?
It seems to be. We thought we'd, really dig into it today, pull it apart a bit.
Sounds good. Those kinds of quotes, they often seem simple on the surface, but there's usually a lot packed in there.
Exactly. So here it is. Stay hungry, stay young, stay foolish, stay curious, and above all, stay humble. Because just when you think you got all the answers is the moment when some bitter twist of fate in the universe will remind you that you very much don't.
Yeah, that's powerful stuff. You can see why it resonates.
Definitely. So our kind of mission, if you like, for this deep dive is to unpack those different stay commands.
Explore what they mean, how they work together.
Precisely. How they contribute to, well, maybe a more fulfilling way of living and learning. Let's kick off with stay hungry.
Okay, stay hungry. It's interesting because it works on, like, two levels, doesn't it?
Yeah, the obvious literal one.
Right, basic need. But metaphorically, it's about always wanting more. Not necessarily more stuff, but more,
Knowledge.
experience.
Exactly. More growth, more understanding. It's less about feeling empty and more about being actively oriented towards, well, what's next? It's an appetite. That's a good way to put it. An active appetite, not just a passive lack. It reminds me of that whole growth mindset idea.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, a hungry mind is definitely not fixed. It believes it can develop, can learn more.
So is that intrinsic thing, that internal drive, not just someone telling you to learn.
I think so. That genuine curiosity and desire, yeah, that's what really keeps you pushing forward, seeking things out. What about you? Does anything specific come to mind that you're sort of hungry for right now in your field?
Huh? Always.
Yeah,
But moving on. Next up is stay young. Now, obviously not literally.
right. No elixir of youth here. I take stay young to mean holding on to a certain spirit.
What kind of spirit?
Well, think about kids or, younger people generally. There's often an openness, right? A willingness to look at new ideas without immediately judging them.
Less cynicism, maybe.
Perhaps. And resilience, too. That ability to bounce back, adapt. Sometimes as we get older, we can become a bit more rigid.
Yeah, we think we've seen it all before. That sense of wonder can fade.
It can. So staying young is like a conscious effort to fight that, to keep challenging your own assumptions.
How do you actually do that, though, day to day?
It's about actively looking for novelty, I think, being willing to say, okay, maybe my way isn't the only way, or maybe I don't fully understand this. It's about updating your mental software, so to speak.
Okay. Now, the next one might sound a bit odd. Stay foolish.
Yeah, that one definitely catches your attention. Foolish usually has negative vibes.
Right. Like making bad choices.
But I think the quote reframes it, doesn't it? It's not about being unintelligent. It's more about being willing to take a chance.
Like risk-taking.
Yeah. Risk-taking, experimenting, not being totally paralyzed by the fear of messing up or looking silly. That's where creativity often comes from, right?
True. There's so much pressure to always look like you know exactly what you're doing.
And that pressure can really stifle innovation, both on a big scale and just in our own lives. Think about, well, any big invention. Someone had to pursue an idea that probably seemed foolish to many others at the time.
Like the Wright brothers example you mentioned earlier.
Exactly. Or even just trying a new hobby you might be bad at initially. That takes a bit of foolish courage sometimes.
It does. It's like embracing the learning process, which often involves not being perfect straight away.
Yeah, and valuing the insights you get from those imperfections. It's very much about the process, not just the perfect outcome.
Okay, next. Stay curious. This one feels connected. Like maybe it drives the others.
I think you're right. Curiosity feels foundational. It's that basic human itch to understand, to ask why.
And how?
And how. Yeah, it's the engine of learning, really. Without curiosity, why bother staying hungry or even foolishly trying new things?
Good point. And it's not just about formal education, is it? Curiosity can lead you anywhere.
Down all sorts of unexpected paths, connecting ideas you'd never link otherwise. It opens up possibilities. What are you curious about lately? What's grabbing your attention?
Oh, always too many things. But it's interesting how, as you said, curiosity makes you more open, maybe more willing to entertain those foolish ideas.
Definitely. A curious mind doesn't just shut things down immediately. It wants to explore, to see what's there.
Which brings us to the big one. And above all, stay humble. The emphasis there feels really key.
It really does. Placing it above all suggests humility is like the necessary soil for the other qualities to grow properly.
What do you mean?
Well, think about it. Without humility, that hunger could become what? Just greed.
Right. Or ambition without limits.
Exactly. And that youthful spirit could easily curdle into arrogance, believing you know best because you're open-minded.
And the foolishness could just become recklessness if you're not humble enough to learn from mistakes.
Precisely. Humility is the check, isn't it? It's the thing that says, okay, I'm hungry, I'm open, I'll take risks. But I also know I don't have all the answers.
Yeah, if you think you do have all the answers, then why be curious? Why, listen, arrogance just slams the door shut on growth.
It really does. Humility, though, that keeps the door open. Open to learning from anyone, any situation. It makes you a better listener, values other perspective.
And helps you admit when you're wrong, which is vital for learning.
Absolutely vital. And that leads perfectly into the final part of the quote, the because.
Right. Because just when you think you got all the answers is the moment when some bitter twist of fate in the universe will remind you that you very much don't.
Oof. Yeah, it's a bit of a reality check, isn't it? A warning almost.
Definitely a warning. It speaks to that unpredictability of life.
Mm-hmm. And the need for what some call intellectual humility, recognizing that our knowledge is always incomplete, always subject to revision.
The moment you get complacent, the moment you think, right, I've cracked it, that's when you're most vulnerable.
That's often when life throws you a curveball or new information comes along that just completely upends your certainty.
It's like the universe itself has a way of enforcing humility sometimes.
You could say that. It's a reminder to stay open, stay questioning, even when you feel confident. And you mentioned Goodreads earlier, the fact that so many people liked it. Over 400 as of Feb 2025.
Yeah.
Well, that shows it taps into a pretty common human experience, doesn't it? That feeling of thinking you've got it figured out only to be proven wrong. It's a shared understanding.
It is. So bringing it all together, stay hungry, stay young, stay foolish, stay curious, and underpinning it all, stay humble. It's not just a list, is it?
No, not at all. They're interconnected. They feed each other. It paints a picture of a very dynamic way to live, actually. Always learning, always exploring, but with your feet somewhat on the ground.
Embracing the journey, the process, while acknowledging you'll never fully arrive at all the answers.
Exactly. It's about the ongoing process, the continuous engagement with the world and with learning.
So a final thought then, for you listening. Thinking about these 5 ideas, hungry, young, foolish, curious, humble, maybe pick one.
Just one to focus on.
Yeah, maybe just one, or perhaps 2 if you're ambitious. How could you consciously bring a bit more of that specific quality into your life right now? Your work, your studies, just your daily approach.
How would focusing on, say, curiosity or humility change things for you today or this week?
Yeah, definitely something to mull over.